Now, number 4, make guns expensive. Yeah. Let me use an example. It might be crazy, but it's just an example. Make guns, for example, $50,000. Right? Make gun $50,000, for instance. You think a poor person like me would save up $50,000 to go and buy a gun instead of buying myself a Jeep Wrangler or something? No, of course not. I'm going to save that. If I save $50,000, I'm not buying a gun. I'm going to buy a Jeep Wrangler for me to be enjoying in the summer. Right? So, if even a robber, if somebody wants to use a gun to rob people, he's not going to save up $50,000 to rob somebody unless they want to rob a bank. Somebody's not going to save up that money, buy a gun to come and rob somebody like me. A wallet that can maybe only have $100 or $50 in it. Somebody's not going to save up that money to come and rob people like us. Because when is he ever going to make that $50,000 back? So if you make guns, and guns, ammunition is expensive, it's going to make it hard for people to buy it. And it's going to reduce the people that can buy the guns. I feel like most of the time, the people that commit all these mass shootings, usually poor people that are stressed, that are mentally unstable. And they do it because when was the last time you heard a celebrity went out there and shot 10 people? Or a child of a celebrity went out there and shot 10, 15, 20 people? When was the last time you heard that? You see? Yeah. I mean, do you think you're going to hear in a few days that Bill Gates went out, Jeff Bezos went to Walmart and shot 15 people? You think it's possible for you to hear that Steve Harvey went into Starbucks and shot 10 people? See, it's probably never going to happen. Or if it happened, it's like very rare. So, and if somebody buy a gun to even settle a beef with somebody, that means, I hate to say that probably means you deserved it. Okay, I don't know if that, I'm not justifying the act, but just, it has to be something too serious for somebody to spend $50,000 to just come and shoot you. Right? So, that's number 4. Now, number 5. Zero tolerance to reckless handling of guns in public. Let me explain. If, for instance, I'm sitting in my car, for instance, I take my handgun out, take a picture of it, I post it on Facebook, on Instagram, or any social media account. If somebody does that, that gun is immediately for confiscation. That gun is for immediate confiscation right there. Because we don't want people to play with guns like that. If you do that, nobody's going to be flashing their little guns. Because those same people that do that are people that are more likely to shoot somebody. Yeah, because they feel like owning a gun, they have to use it, because playing with a gun. I mean, how many times have you heard that somebody was shot mistakenly? Just go and search how many people die by mistake. Yeah, unintentionally. I was playing with the gun, shot, it shoots and somebody takes the bullet, they die. So to avoid that, we're going to have to take a measure that's going to be called zero tolerance to reckless handling of guns in public. If you see somebody holding a gun in public recklessly, that gun is for confiscation immediately. People will start keeping their guns very safely. Okay, that's number 5. Let's go to number 6. If my gun shoots somebody, even if I'm not the one that shot, I have to be held accountable. Now, there can be exceptions to this. Let's say somebody puts a gun on my head before I have access to my gun, before I can put a hand on my gun and asks me for me to give them my gun. If I give them my gun and they go out and commit a crime, I'm not responsible for that, because in that situation I was incapable of not releasing my gun, of protecting my gun. Okay, but if, for instance, I recklessly put the keys to my safe on the table or anywhere else, and somebody takes my gun and commits a crime with it, I have to be held accountable because I put it in a reckless place. That's the same thing as reckless handling of gun in public, like I said. So with that, people will start keeping their guns safely and their keys to their safe and the guns safely. Yeah. If I was in a situation where I'm incapable of protecting my gun, then I cannot be held accountable. But if I recklessly placed my gun, or I made it easy for somebody to access my gun, then I have to be held accountable for that. I have to be at least partially responsible. So if myself and the crime committer who used my gun, we both have to be judged and punished. Okay. Now that was 6th.